Hey, Billy Napier, we present to you one of the more difficult challenges in college football. Win in the SEC year one. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, Gators, and please subscribe to our Florida channel. Push us past 1,000 subscribers. We want to go to 5,000, 10,000, and beyond that, of course. But right now, let's hit the goal of 1,000. Please get us there. We will provide content throughout the season, quality Florida football content, and we will ramp it up through the 22 season. This should be an intriguing one. This is a wild card team in college football. Billy Napier, year one, Louisiana. Success was top-notch, 12-1 this past season at Louisiana, but this is a whole new deal in the SEC. Let's look at the schedule, and I'll leave my record prediction at the end. Leave your comments down below and your projection for Florida's record this year. It all starts in the Swamp on September 3rd. This is a interesting battle. It might be the game of the week. Not in terms of national exposure like Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Georgia, but in regards to just a football game once it's played. Utah, Florida in the Swamp. This is the first time the Gators have taken on a Pac-12 team since the 89 Freedom Bowl against Washington. The Huskies stomped the Gators 34-7. Okay, they finally get together. And this time it's with the Pac-12 champion, Utah. Tough assignment at home, followed by another toughie against Kentucky. And the Wildcats are no longer scared of the Gators. Of course, they've won this game in recent years after losing, 34 straight? But then it's at home. So Florida gets two difficult games, but both at home. So they may win close games, and the Billy Napier tenure at Florida may be off to a great start, 2-0, or they could play some really good football and lose both of these games close and be looking at 0-2. Then they get some games that they, of course, have to win non-conference, looking at South Florida, and a couple weeks later, Eastern Washington. Okay, those are must-wins. At Tennessee, Josh Heupel with a big splash in year one, 7-6. Doesn't sound great, but Tennessee was much improved, and of course, they bring back one of the top quarterbacks in the league in Hendon Hooker. Florida takes on Missouri on October 8th. That, you would figure, in looking at the rest of the conference schedule, is a must-win for Billy Napier and crew. Mizzou at home. Then look at this stretch. LSU, Georgia. I know LSU's not what they typically are, but the roster is still talented. Georgia, of course, the national champions. At Texas A&M, one of the more talented rosters in college football. And South Carolina and Shane Beamer, finally with a quarterback. They could be really good this year. They're intriguing, just like Florida, just like Tennessee in the SEC Eastern Division. Wow, what a stretch drive. At Vandy, that has to be a win, of course, but Vandy's going to beat somebody at some point after losing 21 consecutive in the SEC. And then the finale, Florida defeated Florida State at home this past season to finish off a 6-6 season. Then they went to the bowl game, of course, and lost to UCF. This time they traveled to Tallahassee to take on their rivals. Florida football, what does this schedule bring? Well, the out-of-conference games are difficult. Utah and Florida State, probably a split there, but they certainly could beat Utah at home. They're going to be just a slight underdog. A ton of 50-50 games for Florida. Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU. I think Mizzou is generally a win. At Vandy, of course, is a win. They pick up a couple other wins in the SEC, and I'm looking at a close loss against Utah. I will not be surprised if Florida wins the game. I think it's a 50-50. I think Utah's slightly better, but Florida's at home, of course. But with a new coaching staff versus a guy, Kyle Whittingham, who's been around for 18 years, and the players know exactly what's going on, terminology, strategy, approach, culture, it's all set in place versus the debut of Billy Napier. So that's a tough ask. But again, in the Swamp, it's doable. It's possible. But I like Utah in that game. And then we've got Florida winning the rest of the non-conference games. 7-5, 4-4 in the SEC under Billy Napier. Leave your comments down below. Would love to see your record predictions. How high would anybody project Florida football? I could see 9-3. Anything past that, I would be shocked and say Billy Napier's coach of the year if they go 10-2. But against this schedule, I think 2-6 is the very worst in the SEC, and maybe a loss to somebody out of conference like, of course, Utah or Florida State. I guess the very worst would be 5-7, but 7-5, 4-4 in the league. Leave your comments below and your record predictions, and we will see you with Florida football content. Get us to 1,000 subs right here at the Voice of College Football. Gators!